Welcome to another French lesson. Today we are going to learn how to tell the time in French. L'heure. If you're ready, let's begin. What you must know to be able to tell the time in French easily is simple. You need to know how to say the numbers 1 to 59 in French correctly. And you also have to know these key numbers here. 15, which is 15, 30, 30, 45, 45. Okay? Let's continue. You also need to know these words and phrases. Il est. Heure. Quelle heure est-il? Midi. Minuit. Quart. Moins. Passé. Minute. Seconde. What do they mean? Il est means it is. You must remember this because we have seen this before in a previous lesson. Heure means time. Quelle heure est-il? Easy. Quelle, remember this from a previous lesson, just means what. Heure, time. Est-il is it. What time is it? Midi means noon or midday in English. Minuit means midnight. Quart, we're focused here on this word. It means quarter. Moins originally means less. When you're telling the time, it would be 2 something. We're going to see this as an example. Okay? Passé means past. Minute, minute. Seconde, second. I'm going to read the words again. Listen and read after me. Il est. Heure. Quelle heure est-il? Midi. Minuit. Quart. Moins. Passé. Minute. Seconde. The C is kind of like a G. Seconde. Okay? Let's move on. Here we have a few practice exercises for you to learn how to tell the time correctly in French. Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? We have our clock here, okay? This clock says it is 8 p.m. How are you going to say 8 p.m. in French? When you're telling the time, you start with il est 20 heures. Basically, in English, it is 20 o'clock. You might laugh, but that's the way the French say it. So, 8 p.m. in French is 20 heures. Okay, the French make it easy. They don't go about saying il est 8 heures, or they say il est 20 heures, the French. Some other people who speak French, maybe the Canadian French, for example, they would say il est 8 heures du soir, if they want to add the PM there, okay? Now, how would you say it is 8 a.m.? Easy. Il est 8 heures. Okay? Let's look at another exercise here. Quelle heure est-il? Okay? On this clock, it says it is 1:55. Okay? In French, they're going to write it like this. You can also write it like this in English. 1:55 or 5 minutes to 2. Now, how would you say it this time in French? You will say il est 13h 55 minutes. Il est 13h55 minutes. Okay? It is 1:55 minutes. Okay? Or you can also say il est 13h55. And you put a period right here. Stop right here. Now, if you want to say it is 5 minutes to 2, it is 5 minutes to 2 p.m. How would you say it is 5 minutes to 2 p.m.? Let's break it down a little bit. 5 in French is 5, and 2 p.m. is 14. Okay? 14. Because 2 p.m. is the equivalent of 14 o'clock. Okay? Okay? So, it is 5 minutes to 2 p.m. will be in French, il est, they start with this one here. 14h moins 5. It literally means it is 14 hours less 5. Okay? Il est 14h moins 5. And that is how you will tell this time. All right? You got it? If you can either say it is 1:55, il est 13h55 minutes, or you can say it is 5 minutes to 2 p.m. Il est 14h moins 5 minutes. If you want to add minute here, you can add minute. Okay? Great. Let's move on. You can only get better at this if you practice. Another exercise. Quelle heure est-il? This clock is showing us 11:55 a.m., for example, or it could be 11:55 p.m. This one here, 23:55 p.m. Okay? Now, let us start with the 11:55 a.m. Quelle heure est-il? Il est 11h55 minutes. If you want to add minutes there. Okay? And 23:55 p.m. will be, I'll put a T here. Have to get the spelling correctly. Il est 23 heures 55 minutes. Remember, I told you need to know how to count from number 1 to 59 in French? This is why. All right? Now, for another practice, we'll look at this one. Let's call this number 1. Let's call this number 2. So 11:55 a.m. can also be 5 minutes to noon. 5 minutes to noon or midday. How would you say this in French? Il est. You start with this. Midi moins 5 minutes. Okay? And this one, 5 minutes to midnight will be il est minuit moins 5. Okay? You got it? Let's move on. Quelle heure est-il? Il est 14 in French is 14. Il est 14. Il est 14 heures 5 minutes. Another exercise. Quelle heure est-il? If we look at, this is number 1 here, number 2 here. Il est, in English, 15 minutes past 12 p.m. 15 minutes past 12 p.m. will be il est midi et quart. See, we have used a quart right here. It is 12:15. And 15 minutes past midnight will be il est minuit et quart. That easy. Another exercise. Quelle heure est-il? This clock is showing 3:34 p.m. or 3:34 a.m. Now, how do we say 3:34 p.m.? Il est 15 heures 34 minutes. If you want to add minutes, it's fine. Il est 13h34 minutes. Okay? How do you say it is 3:34 a.m.? Il est 3 heures 34 minutes. 34 minutes. Okay? You got it? It's that simple. But it takes practice. This is easy. It is midday. Il est midi. Period. Il est minuit. It is midnight. Simple. Next exercise. Quelle heure est-il? Il est 21 in French is what? 53 in French is what? Question for you to think about. And if you don't remember, go back and watch our video on numbers. Quelle heure est-il? Il est 21. Remember, heure is a feminine word. 21h53 minutes. There you go. All right? Il est 21h53 minutes, or it is 7 minutes to midnight. It is 7 minutes to midnight. It is 7 minutes to 10 p.m. Simply in French is il est, take your 10 and write it here. 10 in French will be 22, 22 hours. Okay? Il est 22 heures moins 7 minutes. Got it? It takes practice. Keep practicing. Maybe this might be a little difficult for you to learn how to tell the time in French. You need to go back and review the lesson on numbers, and then watch this video on how to tell the time many times until you get it correctly. I will see you in our next lesson. Merci et au revoir.